What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Deep Dig Sports Pod. I'm your host, Drew, with my other host over there.
What's up? It's D. Good to see you again. Today, we are digging into some of Kyle Shanahan's comments about Jimmy G. But before we get into that, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the pod and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on everything that we are posting on this channel.
It's finally here. The day we've all been waiting for years. Jimmy Garoppolo is no longer a 49er. It's been real. There was highs, there was high highs, and there was low lows.
There was low lows.
It couldn't get lower unless you lose all your quarterbacks in an NFC Championship game. That's about as low as you can get. But what do you think about Kyle Shanahan's comments? What did he say specifically? It'd be
I can't remember. You want me to pull it up?
Yeah, go and pull it up.
Let me
But
see.
He's basically saying that Jimmy G's gone. They don't plan on re-signing him. I think we all kind of saw this coming, but it does kind of come at a weird time where the 49ers currently don't have a healthy quarterback on the roster. Yeah, Trey Lance should be ready to go in a few weeks, but I thought this would have got kicked around a little bit for a while of like, well, maybe if Jimmy doesn't find a team or offer he likes, we could bring him back on a 1-year deal and like, let's get these young guys healthy. But they didn't decide to go that route. It was a definitive no. So what did Kyle say?
He said no, period. I don't see any scenario of that happening when asked about Garoppolo's return. And I know they also asked about, hey, are you going to go seek a high ticket veteran quarterback to join this roster? And he also said no. So, I mean, I think that's one. I think it's a good signal as far as Brock Purdy. I think that they believe he will be back in time for training camp. So it makes you feel good there that they don't feel the need to bring in a veteran quarterback or keep around Jimmy Garoppolo. The second one is, I mean, we had this conversation before. We have literally said the same fucking thing. Hey, goodbye, like Jimmy Garoppolo. It's been awesome. Happy that you did it. We'll always remember you forever in our hearts, number 10. And guess what? He came back. So I won't believe it until he is signed on for somewhere else. I can't believe it. I can't fathom it until it actually happens.
It's going to be interesting to see if he has a big market going into this offseason or like what his injury might have done, the play of Brock Purdy compared to Jimmy. I know the stats are similar, but come on. You see the eye test. We could tell that Brock Purdy ran this team a lot better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
I don't know what other teams are really going to be emptying their pockets for Jimmy Garoppolo, but it's going to be cool to see if he does get a contract that's around 20 to 30 million a year. I think it is a thing of, well, the level of play we would get out of him here in San Francisco does not level out to the amount of money he would cost to bring back anymore. That was kind of the thing last year of like, well, we kind of cut his contract down. He doesn't really have anywhere to go. So if we just bring him back as a backup, we know we have a great backup option and we're getting him at a price point that we're cool with. That's no longer the case. The price point is really the backbreaker here. Cause I'm sure if he got 0 offers and he had to come back for $9 million, maybe Kyle would think about it, but that's not the case.
I think there's going to be a couple of spots for him to land. I think it's going to be some of his old stomping grounds. I think the Patriots are going to be one. Belichick fucking hates Mac Jones, apparently. So, we know how he feels about Jimmy Garoppolo. That was supposed to be the next guy up after Tom Brady, and he had to ship him out, and he really hated that. So maybe there. Josh McDaniels in Vegas, if he does not score if he doesn't score Aaron Rodgers, he would love either to bring Mac Jones over or to get Jimmy Garoppolo, just someone who knows his offense and can make it look semi-decent. And the next one would be the Texans with D'Amico Ryans and Caserio, or is Caserio still in there? The GM?
Yeah.
Yep. So he, again, Patriot ties, like a guy who can just go in there, be a bridge quarterback, right the ship, and let's go.
I'd even throw in the Seahawks if they want to let Geno go find something in free agency and just bring in Jimmy Garoppolo. I think Jimmy could look pretty good on that team.
Yeah, or even hear me out. What about the Cardinals?
They're gonna need a guy. Kyler's not gonna be healthy until halfway through the regular season.
And then he's gonna slow play it.
Yeah, he's not gonna be his end date when they say Brock is gonna be 6 months. I believe 6 months. When they say Kyler is not gonna be ready till week 9, I'm thinking week 13. So
Yeah,
I
and
don't
even
think
then,
he's
if it's
yeah.
hey, if we're out of playoff contention, I might not come back, bro. Like
But
I'm just
Jimmy would be
gonna ride
interesting
it
to
out.
go there and be a just a 1 year quarterback. I mean,
Yeah,
if
and you don't tell me that the new guy, whoever they're gonna bring in, which again, I hear that they're like having a really hard time finding a coach that wants to take that position. Uh, whoever they bring in wants to win immediately. Like, and you're not gonna have a backup quarterback. Like, it's so tough, dude. So yeah, I think Cardinals are sneaky. They're gonna be sneaky in on Jimmy Garoppolo.
and then you can't rule out the Colts wheelhouse of bringing in the quarterback for a year, or even I'd say Washington if they strike out on the draft or anything, they have the potential to bring in a quarterback. Um, but do you think Jimmy Garoppolo's like the second best quarterback on the market right now, behind Derek Carr, not counting like Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, because who else? It's Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jacoby Brissett, Andy Dalton.
Teddy
Like
Bridgewater, Geno
that's
Smith, maybe.
yeah, but I think the Seahawks are gonna lock up Geno Smith. I think that he's gonna sign for a decent contract that's like, you know, quarterback like mid.
No one's
So
gonna sign him for more money than in Seattle.
yeah. So I I I would wait to see on that if he does become a true free agent. Yeah, maybe Gino goes up to the number 3 spot, but I think he's going to be locked up in Seattle. But yeah, it's like a very Josh Dobbs. Like who else is like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's a
it's
very
tough.
scarce market.
If you're not trading for a Lamar Jackson, a Aaron Rodgers, then like really who do you have to turn to? And I think there's a lot of teams right now in the league that are desperate for a quarterback. I think going into last year, it was, or yeah, I think going into last year, we kind of looked at the landscape and we were like, dude, I don't know if there's enough spots for quarterbacks this year. And now, as the season's played out, there's a lot of spots for quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I mean even the Saints would be probably interested in Jimmy Garoppolo. So like I'm thinking about it now, a lot of the teams that like do kind of if they're not Patriots guys, it's gonna be an NFC team because we've seen if you're a mid quarterback and you're in the NFC and you have a good team around you, you're gonna make the playoffs. Kirk Cousins, Dak, uh, even the who else?
Tom Brady.
The Lions. The Lions were almost in the playoffs and they had you know what I mean, Jared Goff, and they went through like very high highs and low lows. Like
The
so,
NFC
I
is
think
really weak right now. So I think if you're a team that needs to take a swing, take it now.
yeah, take a swing. Get a quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo who's just good enough. If you put pieces around him, he is a playoff quarterback. So like if you're in the NFC and you're looking around like, hey, cool. Like again, I'm really gravitating towards the Cardinals here because they're a team that they have a lot of weapons. If they choose to like not trade DeAndre Hopkins, which if I'm Jimmy, I'm like, hey, I'm only going there if D Hops is there. Then it's like, let's make a run. Like, hey, we can do this. The NFC is pretty weak. If I just get some pieces around me, let's do it.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals thing is really interesting. I think they need to take a long, hard look at Jimmy Garoppolo and what they want to do next year because they do have some weapons. And in a weak NFC, I think they can throw it some pieces on the, on the scrap pile and see what comes out. I think they could potentially get a wild card. I mean, with the Giants making a wild card spot, I think any team right now could throw it together and really sneak in, and then who knows what happens. Even the Giants, they haven't gave Daniel Jones a contract yet, right?
I don't think so.
I think they could look at Jimmy G possibly. I mean, is Daniel Jones really the guy? I was questioning it, and then I saw him in the wild card, and I was like, damn, Daniel Jones looks really good. And then I saw him the next week, and I was like, damn,
His
Daniel
fucking
Jones looks
ass.
really bad. And so, do they really want to commit to that guy when you have Jimmy there, who's is a starter in this league.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not saying you're gonna win a fucking Super Bowl, but if you're in the playoffs, like that's just where you want to be. Like at the end of season, you want games to matter. And if you have Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback, if you don't overpay him, you will be like you can put a team around him that will get you to meaningful games towards the end of the season. We've seen it.
Yeah. Anything else on this?
No, I mean, again, if this is Jimmy's, if this is for real,
Yeah, we thought it was
Jimmy.
last year. We thought he was gone. So let's hold our breath. Slow down. Trust your
But if this
sources.
is like, hey, let's all, I think we are gonna look back on the Jimmy Garoppolo era, like 5 years, 7 years from now, and be like, damn, like actually Jimmy had a pretty good run. Like
Yeah.
I think he's going to get shit on for a good portion of this, like, in the recent future, he's going to get shit on. But as we pull further away from it, I think we're going to be like, damn, he actually was, pretty good.
Yeah. I think, he's a quarterback that took us to a Super Bowl at the end of the day. Like, you got to respect, and NFC Championship games. We wouldn't be in the NFC Championship game this year if it wasn't for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he has my respect as a player. I think he's tough. I just don't think he was like that talented. And no knock on him, but Brock Purdy looks a little better. Looks a lot better. But go ahead, comment. Where do you think Jimmy Garoppolo plays next year? It's gonna be the Texans. It's gonna be in the NFC. What do you guys think? And like and subscribe, and it's been real.
Later.
See you, Jimmy.